Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Mr. M Trades Sunday Prep. It's June 11th, 2023. And as usual, we get together to to prepare ourselves for what the next week is going to bring in the stock market. The schedule is, the agenda for today is simple. We'll look at some major indexes, see some key levels that we should be aware of, and what we can expect to happen in the coming days. We'll look at some economic events that are happening that might be impacting the condition of the stock market. We'll take a look at the next week earnings and the key companies. We'll review some charts for that as well. And following that, we'll dive into momentum plays that we should be aware of for tomorrow's pre-market open. And following that, we'll be taking a look at some current existing swings that we already in, and then we'll look at a few to that we should put on our watch list for the next week. As usual, I ask you that you put your request in the chat. Time allowing, we'll take a look at these as well on this call. If not, then I'll try to do my best to put them in the chat. But yeah, welcome everyone. This video will be recorded and posted in the usual channels. If you're not a member of the Momentum Trades community, then make sure to join us. We've got a community of like-minded traders that that interact and work very nicely together, supporting each other in our trading journey. Just go into discord.gg/Mr. M Trades. All right, let's get started. So first of all, what I wanted to take a look at is the major indexes. So let's look at the SPY and where we've ended up next week. I think we've been analyzing this week after week, and we're finally getting to that key level here of 432. And we made a high of 431.99, and then we closed on a doji, I would say, like in the middle range here, which I think is a good spot. Really, we had a very nice and tight consolidation here on SPY. As you can see over here, that met with some nice volume on Friday. So I think what we want to be watching out here is that break and hold above that 432 level. Now, if that's going to happen on tomorrow, I don't know, but you can see above that, we may want to go up there, come back and test that as a support, and to continue upwards as well. But above that, the next level here to watch out for would be around 436, and then above that 445. And I think for next week, that would be the range that we would be expecting here. Let's call it 440, where I would like to see us get there if we're going to move upwards. If not, if we can't hold this and we break below the lows here, below 427.95, then the puts can work, and we'll come down and test that 8-day line here. We can actually, you can see that this is now expanding. The price range over here is also expanding. So it is also possible that if we break that low from Friday, we can come down and test these lows here at around 425. So that's where the puts can work. Other than that, this is looking solid. I'll just quickly look at the weekly view. Volume here is sort of fading, not fading, but below average, I'd say. So, but we've got a nice progress. I think we've got 4 up days, 4 green days here on a weekly, 4 weeks on continuation. So I think, we can also estimate that, we'll do a pullback here, but we've seen weirder things happen. So, as you can see, we had this previously, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 days before we kind of pull back here to this support 20-day line, and now we've been going up again on sort of 4 days. So that's on SPY. Q's, Q's been rallying here, pretty strong move. You can see that's on a weekly, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of of going up on the Qs. From where we finished in terms of the range, I would call this still probably within 70th percentile from the highs, which is encouraging. But if we break the lows again here around 347, I think puts and Qs can work, and we may want to come down here to test that 8-day line. So that's on Qs. In terms of VIX, yeah, strong move downwards, breaking the previous support here, so we can expect continuation to the downside here, and another level that I would be, that it acted as strong support here was, around here, around top level here, 1230, lower level 1120. So yeah, so that's pretty much the view here and what we're seeing on the SPY and the Qs. Let's jump quickly here on what we've got coming up in terms of economic events. So Monday we've got a monthly budget statement, but Tuesday, and we talked about this last Sunday, that this was going to be the week to with some key decisions, key actually economic data, because we've got inflation rate on Tuesday with a forecast of 0.3. Okay, so we're looking for inflation rate to be lower than the previous one. Consensus is that's going to come down even lower. Okay, so that's going to be key. We want to see inflation coming down. And then we've got a core inflation here, number at 5.4 is the forecast. Interest rates, that's going to be another one. We got an interest rate at 4.3 forecasted, and consensus is about 4.1. So I think the Tuesday is definitely going to be the day to watch. So my expectation would be that tomorrow can be not as volatile, and until the core inflation and and year over year and the data are released, we might be ranging. Following that, we've got also the CPI number also on Tuesday, and then moving on to Wednesday, we've got a PPI and Fed's decision rate. So expectation here is that they're gonna keep it at where it is at 5.25. I think if the decision is that they lower the interest rate, we might see a bigger push to the upside. But at the moment, we the market is pricing in staying flat to where we are now. Okay, and then on Thursday we've got initial jobless claims over here. And that's about it. Well, I think that's totally enough. I think that it's a big week that we have coming up here in terms of the what is going to be announced. So I think my outlook for the week and suggestion would be to use caution. because this can go either way, right? I think taking, adding 2 + 2 together, with a strong move here on SPY, and 7 up weeks on Qs, anything's possible. Or, the pullback is due. I think what's going to have a probably bigger impact, I think Qs would continue going up as if the interest rates were to come down. And the reason for that is the overall outlook of the growth companies, right? Tech companies is, that their R&D is based on the debt that they can, take on their books, and whatever they can take on the books is driven by the interest rates that are, available for those loans. So the higher interest rates, less innovation, essentially. So I think if the interest rate was to come down, again, expectation is that it is going to stay flat. If the interest rate is, was to come down, I think we would see this continuation here on the Qs, and then you can go long on the Qs or, calls on the Qs here, and we would see probably, that run towards, yeah, 372 level. That's the next pivot where we want to see that. Any questions on, on the major indexes in indexes? Can't talk. Must be the heat. Any questions about the major indexes versus the economic events?
None for me. Everything's looking pretty good, pretty strong. I mean, but you're right. It could turn around this week, depending on a lot of factors.
Yep,
A lot of reporting coming in, so a
absolutely.
good week to be cautious.
Yeah, exactly. So market's going to do what market's going to do, right?
True.
We can only as always, we can just get opportunities that that present themselves. And all right, let's look at the momentum plays. That we should be watching for. Right. So KSPN, let's look at KSPN. Yeah, well, we had a like 170% move here after hours on KSPN. What was the news? I can't find anything. Anyone can tell me what the move was about? Because the latest news on KSPN I'm seeing only on Tuesday, June 6th. Other than that, I can't find anything else. Okay, so that's come back to that.
They did.
MCOM.
They did voluntary. They had a voluntary delisting from the Nasdaq Capital Market. That's all I can see. And
Yeah, I can see there was a general corporate statement filed, Form 8K. Is that the one that you're referring to, Tony?
yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, but that was early in the
Tuesday.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah.
So after that, nothing.
Okay, well, I'll leave that be. But MCOM here from the momentum side here, Let me see the news on that one. Permit extended in Austin, confirming U.S. market momentum. Permit extended through 2023 for 1,750 Helbis brand seated scooters. Okay. But then they also filed is that the offering? I'm just looking at this right now. To merge with Evmo, right? Okay. So that they're looking for merger, I think. Are we seeing this?
I'm looking at their website right now too. It's a pretty innovative company. Electric. I have people in some cities, they hate these little, scooters, but they're a much better way of getting around than motorized options. A lot cleaner. Shared rentals in 30 plus cities.
What about Evmo? Because that's the
And Evmo, yeah, let me check that out. Let's see how their chart's pretty flat, I think. Let's see.
who are we? Evmo's technology-enabled fleet management and rental. Here
we go. Yeah, they entered a letter of intent to merge with Micromobility.
Yeah, Evmo's not in Market Smith. I'm not seeing anything in there on them.
No, Evmo is OTC and ticker under ticker Yayo.
Yayo, yeah. Yayo.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yahoo Finance has some information.
Yeah, there it is here. So yeah, I'll tell you what, can I download this? I don't think I can download that. No, but it's interesting here.
I can maybe put in a link on the chat.
Yeah, if you could,
yeah, I could do that.
Thanks, Tony. So yeah, it's a micromobility disruptive leader and micromobility sector founder. TTD combines expertise in retail, share service, and vehicle rentals to revolutionize urban transportation. Spanning across the US and Europe, the holding group encompasses shared mobility solutions through Helbis. Is that HLBZ? Or am I mistaken? I don't know. But planned brick and mortar stores via market to provide an eco-friendly, affordable ride. Leading provider. So what's that in terms of? I'm just wondering whether that's would it merge with the newly formed subsidiary of Micromobility in a stock for stock exchange. The parties agreed to negotiate in good faith towards the execution of the definitive transaction agreement, including in the merge agreement for the exchange ratio terms and conditions by the LOI and proxy statement. Okay. So the Evmo shareholders have to approve the merger. The definitive agreements are expected to be entered within 30 days after signing this letter of intent with the merger of occurring promptly following satisfaction of the conditions. Anticipated to be no later. Again, OTCs, I don't want to go into the OTCs, but now the question is, can this be now a momentum? I'm not sure, you know, from what I've just read, I'm not entirely sure which way the split will be leaning towards, right?
Right. Right.
Who'd be benefiting more here, MCOM or the AO? You know, and if anyone wants the, let's look at their stock here.
Yeah,
They're
it
like,
doesn't look very good at all.
no,
Low volume and
and and they're, yeah, wow, looks terrible actually.
it does.
So based on, you know, on the price action alone, I would say the main beneficiary here is the micromobility. So rideshare rental. Okay, well, I think, you know, if someone's interested, they can, you know, probably research here a bit. But in terms of, you know, let's go back to MCOM and put it on watch for tomorrow for continuation. Yeah, MCOM doesn't look good either, to be honest.
It really doesn't.
But we're looking at momentum, so
Right. Even
although
short term.
yeah, although, you know, again, the RS rating is at 1.
Oh, geez.
The, you know, huge losses in terms of the EPS. You had, well, you can see it here, decrease from minus 28 cents per share down to 353, even though you had, I guess, you know, 18% growth in sales, but sales are, you know, what, 3.9 million. So I think they're trading in, you know, what they're worth, to be honest. Okay. What is going on here? I think this for me would be like quick in and out here, right? For MCOM, I think we've got this level here, that pivot here around 31.20 break, right? Down up to these highs, 36. So we've got about like 16% potential move on
Right.
MCOM, and then, you know, anything above that, that's just a gravy. But again, on fundamentals, they're weak. Okay. And where are we? Okay, watch list. Okay, so momentum, place. Okay, so we've got a, so I'll just post that in the chat. $31.20 pivot. Look for move towards what? 33. 35 and then 36. Be quick to secure profits. Okay, that's one here. Next one, AUUD. That had run quite a bit after hours. Just checking the news now. Again, another statement here. Letter from NASDAQ is not compliance, right? Non-compliance letter. Okay. So another great stock. So, boy, I don't like these. I think this is gonna run, and soon probably if we can't get over the $1 mark, you know, reverse split is imminent on that one. But it had 2.8 million. So again, high risk momentum play here for continuation. Break of 16, sorry, break of what, move above 50, 69 pivot here, and then full break above what, 75.50. But again, let's take into account the fact that they received the non-compliance. So, you know, options are simple. Get above the $1 to be compliant, right? By whichever means, which is either, you know, push the price up or essentially split, reverse split. So that's essentially is gonna happen. Can anyone remember how long do you have to stay above the $1 level in order to stay compliant?
6 months.
6 months, right? Now the question is, the question here then is, you know, with this level of performance, and let me just look at their performance. Can they do that, right? There we go. RS2, she's grinding down. I don't think so. I think the split is going to be imminent. That's going to be the way out of it. But that, you know, doesn't mean that they're not going to run for momentum. So, okay, so we've got 69.20. $69.20 pivot break. And then we have 75, let's call it 75.30 break. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll do this. Okay. So I've got for now from the momentum side of things. Now, look at some earnings, shall we? So like I said, we've got a relatively light week ahead of us from the earnings standpoint. And we have Oracle on Monday after close. So we'll take a look at the chart. I think we covered this on one of our live calls with Kerry. So Oracle, that's what we want to look at. So Monday after close. Then we have Kroger, and then we get Adobe.
Adobe, yeah.
Adobe Thursday.
That was a nice entry we had.
Yeah, it was lovely. Okay, so first one up is Oracle. Oh wow. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did say to you on that call, I don't know if you were on it, Tony, but it was good spot here too. Based on the
I missed it.
previous report here.
Got 106 entry.
You know, we had they're very consistent in terms of their sales growth over the last 2 years, and the EPS, you know, gradual increase here as well. So I expect we're gonna get a beat.
Mm-hmm.
But again, take into account that all the
Phew.
all the earnings are lottos, right? Because I don't know what the guidance we might be, you know, we might be getting, but
Sure.
essentially when you see it from here to here, this was original cap and handle breakout,
Right.
right? So essentially the move was from, you know, actually from here, which is already up 20%, right?
Right.
With that
Guess I,
bit of a flush here, but other than that, after this break, this is where we're going. But we're making a new 52-week high.
actually making a new 10-year high. So
Are we? Right. Well, there you
yeah.
go. So I think, you know, with some nice, I just want to see the level of, you know, we had a beat here, but we still pulled back. The range isn't huge on earnings, actually, you know, even on the beats. If you can see that, right? Only this one did
Mm-hmm.
kind of made a significant move, only to go down after 2 days.
Oh yeah.
So you know, would that be my first pick? No.
Yeah.
Okay. However, Adobe,
Different story.
different story, right? I think, look at that. I mean,
Whew.
and I'm just wondering, has the RS score increased by, oh yes. So RS increased now by 5, believe it
Oh,
or not.
nice.
So we are now way above, you know, 90. With this move, especially above this key pivot level, we hit high of 466, which is amazing,
Right.
right? Because that was just like a what, $30 move in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And institutional buying.
yeah, definitely. I expect we're gonna get some pullback probably here, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So the ones that didn't get in, you know, can get a piece of pie. Well, I want to say I'll be accumulating, but again, earnings, right, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Based on everything that I see here, and let me check on the news.
I think in July, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh no, 6/15.
No, it's on Thursday,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's right. That's right. When am I
right? So
just looked at that?
Mm-hmm. So just doing some DD here. Yeah, so reports after close. Expect Adobe to earn 379 compares to the year ago, the quarter earnings 22222. AI driven momentum, yeah. So that's why I showed you that video.
Right.
And there's more gains to come according to Wells Fargo. Citing generative AI tailwinds, exactly what I showed you. The analyst upgraded Adobe stock overweight and boosted Adobe's 12 months price target to 375 to 525, right? Which is in line with what I said. That's going to be to five. Well, I said 540, but I want to see 500 first. So,
And of course, it's been up to almost $700 a share.
Yeah, so they introduced Sensei Gen AI, generative AI tool, which it made available across Adobe Experience Cloud. So it'll be well positioned to benefit from early enterprise option, giving its content specialties. Adobe is attempting to differentiate the AI by focusing on 4 key areas: data, scale, talent, and a comprehensive portfolio. Yeah, it's in line really with, what what I was thinking.
Right.
Before we were getting into this. I think we'll see. This is only the beginning, right? They only launched this, and this is only in beta phase. So I think this is only the beginning, and I think when companies are start to realizing the potential of this, they will cut overheads, right?
Right.
Probably will be able to cut the designer force by significant margin, right? Incorporating this obviously is going to take time, but we need to see this as a bigger, longer time frame picture. So in terms of from the investment standpoint, long term, I think this one is definitely one to watch out for. So Adobe, definitely. I'll be probably, I want to say I'm only going to be buying a couple of shares at a time. If we get a beat, then we've got enough of a cushion to kind of get out as
Right.
well. But then, we have this resistance here around 470. Then we've got another one here, 499 or 500 or whatever. And then we've got this 538, which is my target of 540. Okay. So that's my, kind of plan of action here for Adobe. Hope that makes sense.
It's a good plan. I think it'll beat as well. Pretty sure guidance, we'll
Yeah,
see, but
and
yeah,
well, and guidance seems positive, right? So
it does.
I think, with the Wells Fargo giving it 520, I think 525 target. I think if we beat, then there will be a lot more upgrades. So okay, there'll be earnings on Thursday after close. Wells Fargo upgraded to 525 price target. Hold on. Where was I watching that? Okay. I'll just copy and paste this. Okay. Now let's look at Tesla.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you were on the call, but we had, I think there was a contract with GE,
I think I
and they
I
ta-
did hear about that.
and they're charging an ability to use the Tesla charging stations.
Right, which is a big deal. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, how a hawkish Fed could kill a baby bull rally in the US stocks. That's one article I'm seeing here. Yeah, and I think there's another article here that I'm seeing, on a historic run, will it continue? Right, and and I think, you know, we know what this is referring to, right? The first time that it got above 200-day line
Mm-hmm.
since that pullback here. So I'm still bullish on Tesla.
Yep.
I think long term. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time today here. We're in a good place here
Actually,
to
I was gonna say I got out at about 44. What was it? 248, and then got back in at about 244. So I,
yeah.
I didn't want it to really hit my stop, but oh well. Still looks
uh,
very strong.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so someone wanted me to look at RVPH. Is one of the yeah, I think this is down to needs to be reduced to microstarter on RVPH. It's a retracement now is well, it's back down to 20 and 8-day line here. So I definitely wouldn't want to see this slipping below that 650 mark. I think we get a stop around 630. So okay, let's look at some charts here from the chat. Mhm.
Next.
Yeah, cost has still got a bit of a consolidation here going on, and
Mm-hmm.
probably the nearest buy point is here at 560. I'd say,
Right.
right? Because otherwise we're just going to be ranging here.
One of our analysts put out a cost call signal, and I took it. I had 6 options, and I sold 2 for about 35% profit, and then it fell below my buy point. So I ended up putting in a stop limit and got hit. And of course, it went up a little bit after that, but you're right. It's just consolidating right now, so it's not really the best time to.
Yeah, and volume here is fading, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like we're not going to get a move. I think the biggest move we're going to get here above 560.
Right.
Might be a bit of a drag here. So the question is, whether it's going to, how quickly it's going to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for the options.
Right.
You know,
Where
the
time is a-
time is not in your favor, right?
You're exactly.
So, okay, let's look at the RS. Oh yeah, that's a nice flag here.
Mm-hmm.
Me likey.
Yeah, I think it's looking for another upswing here.
That's on weekly, so
Uh,
yeah, 72 RS score. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good EPS and sales. Oh no, sorry. That's yeah, 84, I'm sorry. 84
okay, that
currently.
sounds more like it.
Yeah, but we still got a, you know, sort of got a flat base here forming. Yeah, but the last 2 quarters are not positive in terms of EPS and sales.
Mm,
It's below expectations and declining. And the forecast for 23 and 24 is it's not looking positive.
it's not. Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you're right.
you
Mm-hmm.
can see over here we've got a decline in sales, right? Double digits, yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, and as you can see the RS here, right?
At 84.
It's pointing down versus when, you know, SPY is going
Mm-hmm.
up and the RS here is going down.
Right.
So 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 that's what I would be watching for. So
Okay.
so this one I wouldn't, based on the okay,
How's it
and then
look
we
on the checklist? Oh, yeah, if you don't mind.
it's 6 out of 9, so
6 out of
67%. We've
9.
got an EPS rating below 80, so that's a fail.
Right.
EPS percentage change last quarter, you know, fail. Sales change. So yeah, so you know the things that I watch for the most. So
Okay. All right, Matt. Thanks for that.
and again, but what you want to do is look at those. You know, we want to go after the leaders, right? So
Right.
what then happens is this: when the market is running, right? You want to have that line, the RS line, pointing up or being
Mm-hmm.
even ahead of the S&P, right?
Right.
Because if this is moving and this is still going down, there's something's off there.
Right.
So that's where I'm looking at this. Okay, well,
Okay.
someone asked me here for the AMD, and again,
Oh, yeah.
AMD is still consolidating here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, you know, that's a weekly chart here, obviously, but no, that's a daily chart. But I
Mm.
think it's in line in what we said it was going to happen. I think that was when we last talked about it, right?
Right.
only peeked through here briefly. So, you know, the possibility is this, that if we break above this high here, then we can go and revisit that 131. But I think overall AMD, you know,
Oh,
great,
it's
great play.
really strong. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, AMD, then we had Amazon. I think please look at what KLQ posted in the chat in her channel. I think she posted her due diligence for the upcoming week, and then you'll see. I think there's AWS conference as well.
Right.
So make sure to read that. She's like, honestly, I don't know any other analyst that is as thorough with DD as she is.
Right.
She's a researcher at heart, so you know.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
So pay attention to that as well. Where did she post it? Oh, there it is. There we go. So yeah, so you've got CRM, CrowdStrike, Oracle as well. Guys, this is gold here, right? What we
I have so much crowd in my account. It's incredible. Uh,
good company.
it is a good company, but it's I'm still underwater on it, but not for long.
Yeah. Today to reinforce because conference cover Okay. All right, well, make sure that you know all the resources are in the chat, so make sure to read them. Okay, let's look at and Amazon. Yeah, you know, I think it's Amazon.
Yep. Can't go
I
wrong.
think I think if we come back here, test that as support, and then we can move up, then it's a good place to accumulate here, even down to the 20-day line, right? If we look at the chart here, this was the last time that it touched the 20-day line here. Currently, we're just breaking slightly below 8-day line, but we're holding, and this is the support now. So so here's a good place to add, and add more here at this 119 level as well.
Right.
All right, guys. I'm longer here than I expected. It's already been over an hour. Yeah, I'm not I'm not really fond of Mullen, to be honest. So I'm
No.
still. I think there's just so much potential. I know that people want to get into these, smaller price tickets, but they carry so much risk, in my opinion,
They do.
right? Versus, for example, like Adobe. Like if we get a bright buy point like Adobe, Tesla, and AMD, and Amazon, and Google, and whatever, right? I don't want to go through, but the companies that shown consistent growth, and now they're coming out of their bases. If we get the right buy point, and yes, we're paying a little bit extra, but I guess you gotta know what's your style and what's your approach, because I think that the opportunities currently that are being presented to us are we might not see them for a while. Yeah, Mullen, yeah, just nothing there. I'm not seeing anything there. BNEF, I'll run through quickly the last few. Was that an IPO, BNEF? I think it was, wasn't it?
I think so.
And not enough data here to say.
beneficent. Yeah.
They can run up to here in pre-market to 76. I don't know. There's
Oh, wow.
not enough data here, but I would say if you really want it, it needs to make its way above view up here, 956. But then, key level here would be probably like 1350. That would be like a first mini base that it would need to put in order for. Because otherwise, if this doesn't have enough data, look at the lows. Right. So I know sometimes it's tempting to get, into the lows, but trust me, it can go even lower.
Right. Look at SDA. What
Yeah.
happened there?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll look at the PKST. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Good one, John. I like it. You're coming up here on the pocket
Does
entry.
look good.
Like pocket entry here above 3050. Oh. Just look at the financials here real quick. Yeah, 99 RS. And this is now, IPO'd. Boom. Okay. So huge rush of the IPO. Now we're putting in base. So I think that's a pretty good spot here. I would say PKST above 3050. Yeah, I think I think that's the point here. I know it's not a huge volume, but I think volume is also drying up.
Peaks time.
Risk is relatively low here. Got about $4 of risk if you can hold that 8-day line. Then we can try to make an attempt to go here to test that, and above that got a U breakout of the recent IPO. I'll put that on watch for break of 3050. Right, last one I'm going to take a look at is UCAR.
All right.
Yeah, nothing there just yet.
Yeah. Okay.
What I would say here is just continue making these. That was initial. What was it?
We did have that as a day trade, and
Was it day trade or supernova? I can't remember now.
oh, I don't know if it's supernova. I almost always miss those. um,
Yeah, they
but I
weren't
did.
doing. They're not doing well recently. So
Yeah, I've got some 7.5 calls expired. Oh, expire next week actually. So who knows? I already got rid of most of my. I have one left, but we'll see what happens on that one.
yeah, I think on a daily we need to be watching here for moves above.
Above 9, really,
Well,
at least.
above the green over red, ready.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, that's what I want to see. And I think because there will come a day when this is going to spike,
Hmm.
and so this needs to be revisited daily.
Right.
But at the moment, I'm just not seeing there anything. Okay, guys,
Okay.
I'm over time here, but we've got a plan here for next week. I think first and foremost, we need to be cautious. We've got some big economic events and data coming out on Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's let's trade accordingly. no point of forcing anything, right? As we can see, the market gives us, rallies, but then also pulls back to give us another opportunity. And I'd rather us to stay safe on the sidelines, just watching, and then carefully just, increasing our exposure. So, and I think the interest decision is going to be the key for us moving forward. So, with that being said, thanks for joining, and I'll catch you all in the chat. What I am trying to do is tomorrow morning, when you all asleep, I will be looking at it more swings because I didn't have time to really go into more swings today, which I wanted to do. So I'll be going through some more swings and I'll post them in the watch list channel as well.
Great.
But for now, thanks for coming in, taking time to be here, and yeah,
Thank you, Pat.
appreciate you. Yep.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Have a great rest of your Sunday.
All right,
Take
you
care.
too. All
Bye.
right, bye everybody.